With the battle between Godzilla and Kong quickly approaching, questions have surfaced regarding Kong's ability to take and handle damage. Unlike many of the other Titans, Kong is very similar to us and other real-life animals. He has flesh, skin, and fur. No wings, no armor. Nothing really at all separating him from any sort of injuries that he would receive. Just like with past representations of the giant ape, Kong in the Monsterverse still suffers injuries from simple weapons, both man-made and natural. The chopper blades badly cut up his hands, the teeth and claws from the skull crawlers have left his body scarred and mangled, machine gun fire clearly inflicted pain, and of course we can't forget how close Kong came to death after he was nearly burned alive with napalm. Whether it was the flames burning his fur and skin, or the lack of oxygen around the area, this rather simple form of weaponry made the giant monster pass out. What if I told you though that none of these were his true secret weakness? There is a certain characteristic of Kong that has led to his fate in the past, and there are signs that come from the Monsterverse showing that he may just have the same secret weakness in the Monsterverse. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and let's get to it. To discover Kong's secret weakness, we have to look to the past. Specifically, Kong's connection with Andaro, a young pretty woman over the franchise's history. The very original King Kong, way back in 1933, first established this. While it was hard to tell if this was some sort of love, or just some form of obsession, the connection Kong had with Anne aided in his eventual death. This happened again in the 1976 version of the movie, with the beast and the character called Duan. King Kong in this movie clearly had a thing going on for the human woman. And just like with the original Kong, it got him killed in the end. The movie that focused on this the most was probably Peter Jackson's 2005 King Kong. Never before in King Kong's history has this connection between beast and man been showcased with such an emotional and gripping tone. Every moment that the two shared together, whether it was comedic, terrifying, or beautiful, was building up to the inevitable finale of this story, including the death of Kong. These past takes of the beast set in stone what is supposed to happen with a King Kong character and story. Find a pretty lady, sacrifice her to Kong, Kong becomes connected, take the woman away, Kong goes after her, Kong dies. So what about with the current Kong from the Monsterverse? Is he heading for this same unfortunate path? Let's talk about what happened at Skull Island. The movie showcased Kong, a blonde, and many of the other common traits of a King Kong movie. But this story did not end with the beast's death. He's very much still alive. What made Mason Weaver different than Andaro? What I think is that Kong was not obsessed with the woman, but there was some sort of connection there. Making sense? Probably not. Let's keep going. The movie did have those special moments that try to create the connection between Beauty and the Beast, like the scene with the buffalo, the meetup on top of the mountain, and how Kong did everything he could to keep her alive during his fight with the Skullcrawler. He just never left the island and had the chance to be killed like in the past. But I like to think that this is because this was just the first act of Kong's story in the Monsterverse. Obviously, Kong was in his earlier days in this movie, something akin to teenagers with humans. And we know that with Godzilla vs. Kong that he's going to be much more in his final adult stage. You older watchers probably know how much more emotional you get when you start to leave your teenage years behind you. Oh god. Since Kong and humans are of similar backgrounds, that could mean that we have yet to see Kong's softer side. I'm thinking that he's going to be way more emotional in Godzilla vs. Kong, but what do I know, right? While Brie Larson's character, Mason Weaver, is probably gone from the Monsterverse for good at this point, the cast of Godzilla vs. Kong has shown that they have some pretty ladies inbound. Millie Bobby Brown, she's probably a little too young for Kong, but she will be returning in her role of Madison Russell, and there are two new ladies that are entering the Monsterverse. Isa Gonzalez and Rebecca Hall have both been confirmed to be playing major roles in this movie, and I don't know about you guys or Kong, but will Kong have a connection with either of these two women, or maybe perhaps Madison Russell? At this point, the answer to that question is nothing but pure speculation and a topic for another video perhaps. But if I personally had to make a guess, I would bet that Kong is going to become connected with some female character in Godzilla vs. Kong, and I wouldn't be surprised if his secret weakness came out once more, potentially leading to his unfortunate demise. What is Kong's secret weakness? his emotions, and apparent interest in certain human females. So what do you think, residents? Do you think Kong is heading in a direction that will lead to him having an emotional connection with a female character in Godzilla vs. Kong? And do you think that this is indeed a weakness that may just get him killed once more? If you made it to this point in the video, I want to say that you are indeed a badass, and thank you so much. Subscribe for more videos just like this, and while you're at it, go follow us on our Instagram page so you can see personal photos that Al and I want to show you guys. But as always, residents, this has been Jacob, and peace out.